Many Christians live with a quiet, persistent sense of failure, assuming the problem is a lack of faith. But the reality is often simpler. You're trying to operate while completely disconnected. You sincerely love God, yet you find yourself living in a state of constant exhaustion. You pray, but the peace you're looking for never seems to arrive. You spend your energy fighting the same habits and the same temper, only to find yourself back at the starting line every single Monday morning. The common advice is to push through, to use more willpower and self-discipline to force a change. We are told that if we fail, we just need to try harder next time. But doubling down on human effort doesn't lead to a breakthrough. It leads to burnout. You cannot grit your teeth into a state of spiritual peace. Consider the possibility that the very energy you are using to fix your life is what's preventing you from experiencing God's power. Our instinct is to do more, to check more boxes, and to perform. Yet the actual requirement for spiritual growth is to simply remain. When you put 100% effort into a system and receive 0% change in your character, the logic of trying harder has failed. If the input doesn't produce the output, the mechanism is broken. You aren't lacking effort. You're operating under a misunderstanding of how growth functions. Jesus spoke with absolute clarity when he said, "Without me, you can do nothing." He meant this literally. A branch has zero capacity to produce life on its own. Think of a dead cell phone. You don't squeeze the battery to turn it on, you plug it into a charger. Spiritually, we do the opposite. We try to manufacture power we don't have, while our internal battery remains at zero. Your capability is determined by your connection to the source, not by how hard you can struggle in isolation. Spiritual life is closed off to anyone who insists on operating as an independent, self-powered system. Galatians 5 describes patience, love, and peace as the fruit of the Spirit. These are natural outcomes of a healthy plant, not things you can manufacture through sheer willpower. A branch doesn't get anxious about growing grapes. It doesn't strain or struggle. The fruit appears as an unavoidable result of staying attached. If you feel dry right now, if you have no hunger for Scripture, or you feel cold toward God, it doesn't mean you've committed a massive sin. Dryness happens when you let go. You got distracted by the world, relied on your own wisdom, and the connection simply withered. Godly character is the natural, inevitable byproduct of staying close to the source. How do you actually maintain this connection in a world full of noise and anxiety? First, use truth to govern your mind. When thoughts of doubt or worry show up, you don't have to agree with them. Use what God has said as a weapon to tear those thoughts down in the moment. Second, align your will because you are loved. Obedience is your response to the Father's care, and it keeps you safely under His protection. Third, live with a constant awareness of His presence. This is what it means to pray without ceasing. Consulting Him during a stressful commute, handing Him burdens at your desk, and depending on Him in real time. Abiding means integrating the source into every mundane, messy moment of your actual life. Today, you have permission to stop fighting this battle on your own. Lay down the heavy armor of your own effort. Trade your exhausted strength for the joy and peace that has already been won for you. If you're ready to stop fighting alone, write this in the comments. Today, I choose to remain in the Lord. Let that be the marker for a new way of living. This choice leads to the rest you've been searching for. Subscribe for more on how to experience true transformation.